All right, this is my 2015 Dodge Ram 1500 with quad cab, or I think it's the quad cab. I can never keep those straight. And in case this would help anybody, I just thought I would put it out there. So I was getting a lot of water in my storage bay here. The other storage bay has a subwoofer in it usually. But when it rained, a lot of water here. Initially, I thought it was my high brake light. It was not. That was just, but I did pull that off and reseal it with some butyl tape. After that, I thought it was the seal on my window, and you can see it's kind of got a little ripple to it because sometimes when it closes, it doesn't close perfectly. So I tried to get that fixed, but that really wasn't it. It was actually these vents in the back. There's two, and I'm done with the repair. I'm about to put it back together, but I thought I would at least show everybody what this looks like in case you're having the same problem. This is the stock one that I pulled. You can see all 9 of those little holes are supposed to have one of these little rubber flappies on it, and none of them do. The other one didn't have any. This one had one left. And then you can see the seal gasket around the outside on this one gets really flimsy, so or brittle, and then breaks. This mostly broke on the way getting it out. But what you're gonna do, you gotta pull your seats, and if you've got the little fold flat storage things, you gotta pull those too. Those are relatively simple. There is a bolt in the front and the back of each of the seats. Those are going to take some muscle to get out, because they're Loctited in and their torque settings are pretty high. There's a third bolt kind of here-ish. There's just a bolt welded to the seat. This holds the back of the bracket for the fold out, fold flat things, the cargo things. Anyway, so to get the cargo things off, you got to take off the back bolt there. I believe it's a 13 millimeter. The front bolt for the seat itself, those are, I believe, 18 millimeters. And you do that on both sides, on both seats. I've got the 60/40 rear seat. I think they all do. So that'll get your cargo pads out. Pardon my dogs. And then once you take the rear bolt off on each seat, you'll be able to get those out. Remember, these 2 rear bolts also have your seat belts for the middle seats in. So you're going to pull those out. This seat was able to come out entirely. It's over there. Also, don't forget to disconnect this little bit of wiring. Mine, maybe you don't have this, but mine has little lights in the seats. And so you gotta disconnect those. There's 2 of them. If you do have the subwoofer, its like bracket is sitting on top of the seat bracket, so you gotta take that out. So disconnect your little audio wire over there. And then this seat has the middle seat belt attached, and I didn't really want to deal with that, so I just left it and I slid that seat forward where I was able to pull out this seat. All right, once you've got it all disassembled, you're gonna be able to take off. There's a piece of like heat shield felt that's formed on back here. You can't take that off without taking off the latch system. There's 3 latch system hard points that sit up here behind. Also the seats, let me show you this. So this bracket on the seats, both of them have 2 brackets, one on either side. They slot over these as an additional upper hard point hold for the seats. They're not attached to it because the seats, when they get folded up, they slide up and down. So it's just a hook that hooks over that. And then there's a little, on the outside, there's a little hook that's hooking into this block. There isn't one on the inside. There isn't one here, but there's one over there, and there's one here. So you kind of have to lift the seat up and then pull it forward. And then it's floppy. It doesn't stay up after that. The thing holding it is the back here. So, okay, anyway, once you've got those out or moved forward, you can take this felt out. It does have the 3 latch system hard points up above, and then it had five little push whatever those things are, the little plastic push things. One at the top and bottom on this side, one in the middle at the top, and one at the top and the bottom on that side. Great. Once that's out, here's your this guy. So you're going to push down the 3 tabs on the top here, push this out, and then because the bed is back there, unless you don't have a bed, you can't get this out. So it gets stuck in between the cab and the bed. So you have to push it out into that cavity, turn it this way, and then slide it out. It is smaller in one direction. It's not as wide this way, right? It's wider than it is tall. So you can turn it this way. It takes a little bit of doing to get it out. That's how I broke this flange so much. And then maybe when I post this, I'll find the link to these ones that I got from Amazon. But they're an upgraded one. They have tabs on the top and bottom, not just on the top. And the way that the outside gasket here works, instead of being around the face like that where it can get brittle, it's here sandwiched between the lip and the cab. So it makes it a little easier to get it through that hole, turned and back, this way. Through the hole, turned and back, and just make sure you orient these correctly where the flaps are down. So those are all kind of at a slant, kind of towards the back of the truck, right? So the water runs off of them. And then you don't want to have that on upside down. It definitely will not work. The other thing I did before I actually popped this in was I got a little alcohol, like rubbing alcohol on a rag, and just wiped the outside of that hole from through here, so that I could so that gasket got a really good seal. And then you pop that in. Make sure all 4 of your tabs engage. I gave it a little push. I also used my little grab-a-bobber here, and I just grabbed one of these so that before I inserted it, just so that if I dropped it, it didn't drop down into that cavity and was going to be a pain in the butt to get out. I didn't actually drop it, but it was worth the little safety for me. Yeah, I think that's everything. Once that's in, put your felt back on, put your latch points back in, and then start putting your seats back together. Basically do it in the reverse order. So I don't post a lot of these, but I don't post any of these, as you can see from my profile, but I thought this might be helpful for somebody. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment, but this isn't really my jam. I'm not a content creator. I'm just a guy that likes to help people out. So there you go. Have a good day.